The date was November 1st, 2024. Manchester United thought they had finally found him. The chosen one, who actually had the credentials. Ruben Amorim didn't just walk into Old Trafford, he floated in on a cloud of Portuguese silverware and tactical mystique. He was the man who broke the Benfica-Porto duopoly. He was the tactical poet. But as he stood on the touchline for the first time, a shadow was already forming. It was the shadow of three at the back. The 3-4-3. To Amorim, it was a religion. To Manchester United, it would become a straitjacket. He told us in his first week that the system was non-negotiable. He famously said, "Not even the Pope could change my mind." We laughed then. We thought it was strength. We didn't realize it was a warning. For 14 months, we watched a man try to force square pegs into triangular holes. We saw wingers like Alejandro Garnacho turned into auxiliary wingbacks, forced to sprint 80 yards back toward their own goal while their attacking instinct withered away. Garnacho's eventual departure in acrimonious circumstances wasn't a surprise. It was the first casualty of the Amorim Foundation. The statistics from those first 25 games were not just bad, they were historic. A win rate of 24%, 14 losses in 27 games. It was the worst start for any manager in the history of the Big Six. Under Amorim, Manchester United didn't just lose, they looked lost. The academy betrayal and the Mainu Cold War. If you want to know why the fans finally turned, look no further than the bench. Look at the boy who carried this club through its darkest days under Ten Hag, Kobbie Mainoo. The treatment of Mainoo under Ruben Amorim was more than a tactical choice. It felt like an insult to the club's DNA. A player who started a Euro 2024 final for England was suddenly deemed not defensive enough to play in a two-man midfield. Amorim's 3-4-3 demanded robots marathon runners who could cover the ground between the boxes without thinking. Mainoo is a ghost. He's a player of nuance and velvet touches. Amorim didn't want a ghost, he wanted a soldier. For months, the press conferences became a battlefield. When asked why Mainoo hadn't started a single Premier League game in the 2025 season, Amorim's responses turned from defensive to petulant. "I know you love Kobbie," he would sneer at the journalists, "but I see things differently." He even went so far as to blame Mainoo's English passport for the media narrative, a comment that sent shockwaves through the dressing room. The drama reached a boiling point when Mainoo's own brother was seen wearing a free Kobbie t-shirt at a match. Instead of diffusing the situation, Amorim doubled down. He didn't care about the history. He didn't care about the Stretford End's love for their own. He was a man on an island, and he was happy to let the club's brightest light go cold just to prove a point. The humiliations and the tactical stubbornness. The cracks didn't just show, they split wide open in results that will haunt the history books. Remember the 3-0 loss to Bournemouth at home? A tactical masterclass in how to be torn to shreds. Bournemouth's wingers spent 90 minutes laughing at the spaces behind Amorim's highline wingbacks. Then there was the night in Grimsby, a League Two side valued at 1/257th of the United squad. A 2-2 draw that ended in a penalty shootout nightmare. Amorim stood in the technical area, fiddling with his tactics board, while the world watched the biggest financial mismatch in English history end in a United collapse. Even then, he wouldn't change. When the injury crisis hit in December 2025, and he lost Mbeumo and Mazraoui to the Africa Cup of Nations, the entire world begged him to move to a back four, to play a 4-3-3, to give the team a chance to breathe. Reports emerged that even the head of recruitment and the sporting director, Jason Wilcox, were pleading with him in the corridors of Carrington. Change the system or lose your job. Amorim's response. He reportedly walked out of a meeting, telling the board that if they wanted a coach who followed orders, they should have hired someone else. He was the manager. And the manager does not take suggestions. The final act, Elland Road and the rant. It all came to a head on January 4th, 2026. A grey afternoon at Elland Road. A 1-1 draw with a lead side that United should have put away in the first 20 minutes. But it wasn't the result that ended Ruben Amorim. It was the 3 minutes of madness that followed. He walked into that press conference room with a chip on his shoulder, the size of the North Stand. For 5 minutes, he kept his cool. Then, someone asked about the board's confidence. The explosion was legendary. "I am the manager of Manchester United," he barked, name-dropping Tuchel, Conte and Mourinho, as if to dare the board to find someone better. He told the scouting department to do their job. He told the owners that he would stay for his remaining 18 months, but not a second longer. He treated the club like a prison sentence he was willing to serve. He called out the Gary Nevilles of the world. He told the hierarchy that if they couldn't handle the pressure, they should change the club, not the manager. He was a man who knew he was being fired, so he decided to burn the house down on his way out. Today, January 5th, the fire was put out. The club's statement was reluctant, but the reality was simple. You cannot fight the fans, the players, the board, and the history of the club all at once. Ruben Amorim came to Manchester to build a foundation. He leaves having built a wall between himself and the very people who wanted him to succeed. The Amorim Era is over. A 14-month experiment in rigidity that proved one thing. At Manchester United, no system is bigger than the soul of the club.